Hey everybody, so I want to do today's video slightly different. I want to talk about the psychology of successful leaders. The way that I want to do that is to look at top leaders in business today and share what makes them successful. Welcome back everybody. My name is Preston and I help professionals just like you build exciting careers and lead awesome teams. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I have new videos every Tuesday. All right, so I want to talk about the psychology of successful leaders today, and I got this idea. I recently published a book, and as I was reading it, I noticed that there were some really good quotes in there about successful leaders like Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett, Gandhi. Like, there's great stuff. And so I wanted to share the psychology of what makes up a great leader in today's video. So tip number one comes from Warren Buffett, one of my personal favorite heroes, and it's all about emotional control. Buffett says, "You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing things with magic. True power is restraint. If words control you, that means that everyone else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass." Now, I talk about this in this video about emotional intelligence, but basically what he's talking about is being aware of your trigger points and being able to be restrained in the way that you respond, because your response oftentimes can come from a place of understanding or coming from a place of fear. So when you're looking at it from a lens of leadership, you want to have so much self-control and emotional control that no matter what is thrown at you, you can handle it with logic and empathy, and making sure that whenever things do get a little bit turbulent, that you are solidified enough in your skill set and your ability as a leader that you are not shaken. And that's one thing that I think Warren Buffett does so much better than anybody else. And he is an investor and he sees his stocks go up and down. He has mastered emotional control. So that's tip number one. Tip number two comes from another idol. All of these people are my idols, but I especially love Tony Robbins. And the tip from him is growth mindset. So Tony Robbins says, "Leaders spend 5% of their time on problems and 95% of their time on the solution. Get over it and crush it." So I talk a little bit about this in this video here, but basically what he's talking about is you are only as good as your ability to move forward. Things are going to constantly not go the way that you expect them, but your ability to look at a situation and assess where is the opportunity allows for you to navigate as a leader and move your team in the most innovative and impactful way. And so that's a term that we're calling growth mindset, or that's what you might have heard that term, growth mindset. And it's all about not focusing on what the problem is, but focusing on where you can grow and where you can expand despite the limitations or the problems or the situation that you're put in. And that's what great leaders do. Tip number three comes from Oprah Winfrey. Live with integrity. So Oprah Winfrey says, "Real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that no one's going to know whether you did it or not." So I talk about integrity a little bit in this video about being a leader without being bossy. But basically what Oprah's talking about is maintaining trust and being trustworthy no matter what. And as a leader, it's crucial that your team can look to you and trust you that you're going to do the right thing every single time. And a big part of living with integrity is knowing what your values are and knowing what you stand for. And I know Oprah does a great job of talking about how to be intentional and how to have integrity in tough situations. But that's lesson number three. Tip number four comes from John F. Kennedy. Always learn. President JFK said, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other." This kind of goes with the lesson of Tony Robbins, which was always have a growth mindset. But when we're looking at leadership, oftentimes you are expected to lead or go into a world that hasn't yet been created. So in order to be the most successful or to be the most prepared when you get there, you need to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information and you know how the world works in a way that when that new world does come to you, that you're able to navigate it and help your team navigate it in the most effective way possible. So I want to ask this question. Leave me a comment below. What is the most important lesson that you have learned as a leader? Write it in the comments below. And tip number five comes from Gandhi. Be conscious of your time. So Gandhi's quote's very quick and I'll elaborate on it, but he said, "Actions express priorities." So I talk about this in this video about managing time effectively as a leader, but basically what Gandhi said is Whatever you invest your time in shows what you care about. It shows your priorities. So as a leader, you need to make sure that your time and the things that you do align with what you're trying to accomplish. If you notice that your team isn't bonding as well, or you want more team engagement and trust built within your team, but you constantly are missing phone calls with them, you're constantly absentee from your emails, those type of things start to rub off on your team. So if you are conscious of where you're investing your time and you're intentional about where you invest your time, you're gonna see more of the things that you want manifesting. And that's all I have. Kind of a quick video, but the psychology of leadership is there's so many components that you can continue to research and continue to find. I felt that these are the top 5 that I would recommend to you, especially if you're a new leader or you're looking for leadership advice. And I wanted to share those quotes because I think those leaders that I listed, Oprah, Gandhi, JFK, Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett, they are outstanding leaders, and all of them have mastered the things that I just shared with you today. And I think their quotes capture the psychology of great leaders very, very well. So that's the video. If you haven't already, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a new video every Tuesday, so I will see you there.